So there was always interest from my part and the university in developing cross-disciplinary research areas. And in around 2007, 2008, there was an interest in developing a new research institute that would emphasize cross-disciplinary research.
You know, when I think about early conversations with John and with the mortgages and with the campus, really, the desire was to have some place that pushed innovation beyond anything that was happening on the campus. So I think first and foremost, we gave the campus a language: virtual reality, epigenetics, systems biology. These were themes that were just emerging, and having their presence in WIB, it improved the vernacular.
The early days were filled with interdisciplinary mashups of diverse faculty, experts sharing their stories and research interests. I recall the inspiration that comes with learning from my diverse colleagues what questions they seek answers to and how they go about finding those answers through very diverse research methods.
I think the promise of WID was that it would give us some visibility, and it would also, if we won the competition for the initial competition to become a founding member of WID, it would give us a stamp of authority that would enable us to reach out or people to come and find us easier. And so I think it's been very successful at that.
The WID is really unique in its actually the concept of bringing researchers doing involving in biotechnology, nanotechnology, and information technology, and then they actually bring research group doing this type of research into this one building, and then allow them to interact and collaborate, and hopefully the innovative idea will spark, and also that result in the innovative research or some product that actually will help to improve the well-being of the society and human health.
It was a really great period of time. I remember being extremely excited when we were selected as in the semifinal group, and then very excited when we were selected to be part of the innovation. And the whole process of getting to get into the building early and see how it was being developed was really fabulous. The speculation across Madison of what was going in there. You know, this big block had been torn down. Much beloved stores that once were there are no longer there. And people would say, well, it's going to be a museum. Well, it's going to be this. Well, it's going to be that. So it was really, people were the city was kind of fascinated by it. And I thought that was pretty cool.
I remember when it was first announced who the groups would be, I said, how am I going to remember these very different areas? And so I made a mnemonic of LOBES, LOBES. L was the Living Environments Lab, which Patty Brennan was leading as a nurse engineer. Optimization, O, was led by Michael Ferris, and this is coming from the more mathematical and computational area. LOB, B was the bio-nanotechnologies, led by Tom Turn, and he was interested in new materials to support stem cell growth and artificial tissues. And then E was epigenetics, led by John Deneau. And I was leading this S, the systems biology group. So just the diversity of different components that made up lobes was for me something that I couldn't have anticipated.
I think WID was developed under a model that involved actually a lot of aspirational thinking in social engineering. If we created a structure that enhanced interaction, if we incentivized people to engage with each other, we would see collaboration emerge from the bottom.
Being a part of WID has made me a better scientist. The diverse nature of the questions my colleagues ask and the diverse approaches they use has really opened my eyes to the wide expanse of science that us humans are capable of. Exposure of these great minds has made me rethink my own research questions, largely to broaden them and to reach out to my interdisciplinary colleagues to address broader questions.
I'm grateful for having this opportunity to work here and then to enjoy the infrastructure opportunity, and also most importantly people who work in this building that really provide that kind of environment so that we can flourish and also develop ideas that we have the opportunity to try it out. We are able to, we can afford to fail, but actually through those failures we learn faster, and then also so that we can achieve what we have achieved so far. So I'm really fortunate to be a part of this big experiment, and I'm saying that this experiment is actually working very well.
As original theme leader, we have had 4 excellent WID directors, John Wiley, David Krakauer, Chris Bradfield, and Joe Handelsman. I'm very excited to be working with the current director, Joe Handelsman, to plan out the next impactful iteration of WID.
As someone who works in science and engineering and also thinks about the impacts on society, I'd love to see it continue to be working at the frontiers of science, engineering, and addressing the biggest societal problems.
I also think that as we think about the new era, we as academics have been thinking about data plus X, or optimization plus X, or computer sciences, I'm a computer sciences faculty member, plus X. And where the X is, some other discipline or some societal goal. And I think that if we in the university, and specifically again at WID, can keep that link between what we do as scientists and the authenticity of our science, if we can keep that together and allow ourselves to actually influence a lot of different X's, the disciplinary or societal goals, then I think we'll all be in a better shape. And I'd love to think that WID as a legacy, or the University of Wisconsin as a legacy, could actually enable that moving forward.
I think it's important for the Institute, for Wisconsin Institutes for Discovery, not only to be thinking about the science, but also the societal impacts and the ethical sorts of questions that arise.
And also we have the small celebration party at the house of our first interim WID director, John Wiley. So I remember this is the first piece of paper that he handed to each one of us. Okay, and so basically he wanted to remind us that we are on the same boat. Cannot believe it has been 15 years. We're celebrating the 15 years anniversary of WID. Time flies.